Good morning. Welcome to the meeting of the Annapolis County Council. I call the meeting to order. Those of you who have looked at your calendar and read the emails know that we have a busy rest of January and probably a very busy February with workshops and special committees of the whole, all part of our mutual education process so that we can provide better governance to our citizens. And I'll start with the roll call with District 1, please.
Bruce Prout.
District 2, Brian Fuzzy-Connell.
District 4, Clay Barton.
District 6, Alec Morrison.
District 7, David Hudson.
District 8, Michael Gunn.
District 9, Wendy Sheridan.
District 10, Fred Reddick.
District 11, Diane Novena.
Thank you. Are there any disclosures of interest? All right. We will now deal with changes or additions. And the first one I have is to delete 6.2. And to indicate that there be an in-camera meeting under 22.2F litigation. Are there others?
Adding update on speed signs.
And
Speed signs.
under new business or speed sign?
Under new business is your place.
All right, under new business, and it will become 6.2, it has to do with an update on radar speed signs. Any others? If I could have a motion to approve the order of the day, please. As amended, Councillor Connell, and seconded by the Deputy Warden. Discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Yes?
I'm just roll call.
Yes.
Just wanted to make that clear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Connell?
In my package, I didn't know that. Right. So we're going to complete.
We're deleting 6.2. And then we're inserting an in-camera item.
And update on radar.
And update on radar. And we've already agreed on those. The next item is the approval of the minutes of the 28th of December regular meeting. Comments? I think we should have a motion to approve them. Councillor Prout. Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. We now move to Committee of the Whole recommendations on page 20. And we will begin with the Deputy Warden, please.
I move that the full council maintain a working system of governance.
Second, Councillor Connell. Discussion? Councillor Gunn.
Thank you. I'll be voting against this motion again because it's not what the citizens of Annapolis County are seeking. Thank you.
I might say that I'm interpreting your remarks that the citizens of Annapolis County who replied to a survey.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed?
No, sorry about that.
1 no. Councillor Gunn. Okay, Deputy Warden.
I move to authorize the municipal clerk to commence submission proceedings to the Nova Scotia Utility and Review Board to consider the number of boundaries of polling districts and councillors at 11 pursuant to section 369 of the Municipal Government Act.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Hudson. Discussion. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you. I'll be voting against this motion as well, because I'll be voting along with those who answered the survey that was put out by Annapolis County. I'll be voting along with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Connell.
I'll be voting for the motion because I know individuals that voted 7 and 8 times on the survey. The survey is not correct. And the same as any petition that's ever been brought to this council, we recognize people that don't live in the area, or people signed it twice, or misinformation or misrepresentation being put on, we've always had to throw it aside because it wasn't correct.
Thank you.
So I will be voting for the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Sheridan.
I'm going to be voting against the 11, just because I did a little bit of research, and Kings County does have over 40,000 residents and 9 councillors, 1 warden. We have 20,000 residents approximately and 11 councillors. I feel that the UARB are going to come back and tell us that we need to have it smaller. In my opinion, probably should be. Thank you.
Thank you. And I might point out, if council passes this motion, the clerk will communicate with us and asking for any reasons we might have that can be part of our submission to UARB. All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Against? 2. Motion passed. Thank you. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council authorize a withdrawal of $25,000 from Capital Fire Services Reserve Fund for the Springfield and District Volunteer Fire Department to complete the loan for their tanker pumper.
Thank you. Second. Councillor Vaughn. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. Motion carried. Councillor Bartow, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant in the amount of $2,850 to the town of Annapolis to assist with the Pierre de Graaf Day inauguration weekend events for the marketing and promotions partnership program in accordance with AM 1.4.9 community grants policy.
Thank you. Second by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council amend the AM-1.2.1 remuneration for the warden, deputy warden, and the councillors as circulated in accordance with 7-day notice.
Thank you. Second. Councillor Connell. Discussion. Deputy Warden.
Could we have the new version of it appended to the council package? Is that appropriate?
Yes. Well, you have it.
Yes. The public does not. Well, I guess it is posted after the meeting, isn't it?
Yes. Well, no. The agenda has already been posted. This was not circulated, the new one, as part of the agenda package. So I can't amend the one that is on the list.
But it will go through the policy.
The process is posted almost immediately.
Yes. Yes.
I will retract my vote.
Thank you. Councillor Bartow.
So that motion, I just want to make sure that it wasn't, because it was carried forward from the community hall.
Yes.
That this motion actually is for the current wording.
Yes.
Then I'll go for that.
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council amend AM-1.4.14 low income tax exemption policy by increasing the exemption amount to $400 and increase the allowable income amount to $27,500, and to include the definition of total income to be equal to Canada Revenue Agency's total income, line 15,000, in accordance with the 7-day notice given.
Thank you. Second. Councilor Longmire. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. Councilor Longmire, please.
5.7, I move that the municipal council approve the Annapolis Remo Comfort Center agreement template as recommended to all Annapolis County Remo councils.
Thank you. Second. Councilor Prout. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. 5.8, Councilor Longmire, please.
I move that the municipal council repeal and replace AM-1.4.4 comfort centers and shelters policy as updated in accordance with 7-day notice given.
Thank you. Second, Councilor Hudson. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. 5.9, Councilor Bartow, please.
I move that municipal council create a new committee called Annapolis County Environmental Impact and Climate Change Committee to address related issues as referred to by council to be made up of 3 councilors, 2 citizen members who preferably on land abutting the river.
Thank you. Second, Councilor Connell. Discussion. Councilor Connell.
I don't think this is the first time we've had a committee of that source. I think years ago we used to have an environmental committee. So it's more than, in my mind, it's more than welcome to appear, and especially at these times.
Thank you. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried.
No, nay.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Thank you. Record.
record. 5.10, Councilor Bartow, please.
I move that the municipal council refer the new, Annapolis County Environmental Impact and Climate Change Committee to staff to develop the terms of reference and other associated administrative matters.
Thank you. Second, Councilor Sheridan. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
Nay.
1. Thank you. Now we move to new business 6.1, which is a draft letter to the Nova Scotia Department of Transportation and Infrastructure renewal. Councilor Gunn.
Yes, I would move that this letter be sent to fire services and let fire services deal with it.
Thank you. Second, Councilor Connell. Discussion. Councilor Connell.
Yes, I'm kind of glad that the letter didn't go forward. I know that we had a fire service meeting last night and it was brought up. I would just like to give a little history if I could. Several years ago, when Senior Russell McIntosh was head of the Annapolis Fire Department, he went to the provincial government lobbying for the fire departments to have a traffic control manual made for emergency services. At the time, I was on Fire Services Committee too. And I had many, many questions why they wouldn't want to get involved in traffic control. One reason is because after a certain dollar value, transportation could levy a bill against the finance companies for the time spent at an accident scene. Last night I learned that the fire departments do have the same opportunities, but they don't do it. At the time, being a rep of this county, I also told them, why would you want to add more things to your profile? They insisted they wanted to do it. Watch what you ask for. Maybe they had lots of volunteers back then. This is coming to the forefront because the volunteer system is collapsing in all organizations across our county and across the provinces. And also, I think that we should, before any letter sent, I know that if this passes, it'll go back to the fire services and we can hash it around again to try to come up with some better scenarios for better reason or some subjects in the letter. But we also should invite some of the participants of closing down a road to this council chambers. Tony Harvey is the area manager. We should put an invite to him to come explain to this council how it works for transportation to close down a road. I know what it takes, and it doesn't take a phone call from anybody. There's a process, and that process takes time. Under the Emergency Act, the RCMP and the fire department have the right to close a road. Transportation doesn't have that same policy. So there's a lot to it for transportation to be called in and close a road down, unless they want to look at closing a road down 8 hours the next day, stuff like that. If we're going to write a letter to ask the province to help with the situation, I would want to make sure we had our ducks in a row. Give us the opportunity to ask the area manager what the process is, so everyone can be educated on it. But some of the problem is the RCMP don't even know. They have the authority, but they're not considering what it takes to close that road down. Years ago, the roads used to be closed a few hours. I was on scenes where the road was closed for a day and a half, mainly because there's 3 investigation officers in the province of Nova Scotia. If there's an accident in Cape Breton and 2 of them are there, and there's an accident in Yarmouth and the other one's there, and there's an accident in Bridgetown, Bridgetown has to keep that road closed until somebody from them 3 are available to drive to Bridgetown to do their job. That could be considerably 12 hours, 14 hours, 2 days. And if the local RCMP want to keep that road closed completely until that investigator gets there, that's what happens. So I think if council had more of an idea what situation transportation's in, what the fire department dived into, and now all of a sudden it's causing them grief because they haven't got the body to fulfill. Also, employees are not allowing some of the volunteer firefighters to not show up to their job the next day because every employer is getting to the point that they need everyone they have. So I think there's a lot to it, and I think if we want to try to help fix the situation, we should get educated on it and make sure that if a letter goes forward for the help of the province, that it's intact of what we know they can do. And we also wouldn't hurt for the head of RCMP to be here, because they just request the road to be closed. And under the Act, they have the right to close the road. But there's no system to back them up. They will not pay for a private TCP. So there's all kinds of things that should be asked before we get engaged in sending a letter like this.
Thank you.
I have a question about the motion. What do you want the Fire Services Committee to do with it? The motion is to refer it to Fire Services Committee. Do you want them to review and make recommendations back?
Yes.
I think that's what you said.
That was what
Yeah.
you missed that last part.
Checking.
Thank you, Councillor LeBlanc.
Thank you, and I'm glad this is referred to them, and I totally agree with Councillor Connell, because I know the department has their own rules, and as he says, you ask to do something, but times change, so things should be revisited and explained to each department in all aspects. Referring it to, I don't know, I have a question. If we're referring this letter to, who are we referring it to?
Fire services.
Fire service. I thought our mandate or the other motion for writing this letter was to bring the concerns of council. So are we bringing our concerns to them? Is that the point here? Or is it we want them to approve or disapprove of the letter? Just wanting a clarification.
If council passes this motion, I would imagine our representatives in the Fire Services Committee can speak as well, that members of the committee will look at it, and if the committee agrees that a letter should be sent, we'll offer suggestions and recommendations. That's my understanding.
If I can explain a bit of process.
Yes.
When council makes a motion, and the motion is approved, the clerk sends that motion to the people who need it. So this motion, if approved like it is, will be sent to the Fire Services Committee, and that letter will be attached to it. Then that committee will have all the information they need to do what they need to do. And hopefully, because I sent it to them, their recommendation will come back to me for a future meeting.
Exactly. Thank you. Councillor Hudson and Councillor Bertrand.
Yes, just to add maybe a brief comment to what Councillor Connell said. The Fire Services meeting last evening, the executive there said that this problem is provincially wide, right? It's nothing that's just unique to Annapolis County. This is across the province, right? And they made a suggestion at the meeting that perhaps what should happen is that the provincial Fire Association should be the one that should be behind this, simply from the fact is that they represent all fire departments within the province, right? Not just the departments in Annapolis County. So I just want to mention that they thought that might be a good approach to this matter.
So when they meet formally to discuss this, they can send that recommendation back.
Councillor Bertrand?
Yeah, I agree with the good committee. I agree with all the comments around it. I just look at it from being someone who joined the fire service in 1981, a long time ago. I've seen a lot. And this is not a good problem. This is something that, hopefully gets some traction, because sending it from one committee to another, recommendations, I don't know how to get to the top, but at some point it has to be addressed because it's a major issue. I don't think that right now, let's assume that firefighters will be asked and they will do what's necessary, and they are more than willing as really great volunteers to take that on. It's not great, it's great for them when their employers let them go for emergencies and car service, but to sit around on a highway not dealing with emergency other than traffic control, that's kind of another works. I know the car service committee is going to discuss it, so I don't want to try to interject, but maybe my feedback will be heard. That who is the body that would be responsible to deal with this critical situation? It's not something that's it's something that we need to look at, and something that we need to keep on until there's a resolution to it. If the committee takes it, brings it back to us, and we send it off to somebody, we need to keep following up. I think that's our responsibility. It's something that's, maybe the emergency is over, but if that control's not put on the highway, that emergency could be duplicated with seen in the past. where people come through and saying somebody that's in an accident. So I think that we really need to address this. We need to take it seriously, very seriously, and carry it through to the nth degree. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments? Councillor Longmire.
Thank you. I would just,
May I remind you that the motion is that we refer this to the Fire Services Committee. Please.
Thank you. I am glad that we are sending it to the Fire Services Committee. I would like to say, though, how important it was that we identified the issue. And sometimes it takes a mover and a shaker to push it uphill even further and faster. It has been a provincial issue, and hence the reason why we need to push. And, you know, it's like if someone doesn't make the noise, we assume someone else will. And so as Councillor Connell or Councillor Bardo has said, we do. We've made the noise. We're going to send, hopefully, to the right place and get some traction. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Connell.
I will say that Fire Services executive has already met with Doter. They understand the process and the problem that adheres to what the situation is with the transportation closing the road needed. So they do understand what barriers the department is facing.
Thank you. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you. I believe all these comments are all the more reason for sending a letter. It's a mess the way the emergency services are being delivered in Annapolis County. And it's all balled up. Nobody really knows whose job one thing is and the other, as has been said. Now, Councillor Connell just said to us that the RCMP and the fire services have the right to close down a road or a highway. Well, as it turns out, I've been told by fire chiefs, the different fire chiefs and the president of our local association, that they don't have the authority to close down a highway. And so what is it? We really don't know. We don't know until we get some policy builder that they have in Halifax or somebody to come down here and explain it all to us. Our fire services are continually picking up the services that are left slack by the provincial government. This goes on and on. More and more we hear of our fire services responding to medical calls because on the weekends our local EHS is closed down. So there's nobody there on the weekends. Our fire services are left to pick up the mess. Somebody dies in their home, just happened last week. Who goes to pick them up? To clean up the mess? Fire services. Whose job is it? We don't know. Is it fire services? We're putting all our boys through the stress and trauma of handling with dead bodies. Do you think that's hard on them? Yes, it is. These guys have other jobs, Imagine being out there picking up a mess on a highway and then have to go back to work a couple hours later. So this needs to be dealt with, folks. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay, we'll return to the motion. All those in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Councillor Connell, did you want to make any motion with regard to having folks come to talk to us either before or after the Fire Services Committee considered this?
I would like to wait until after the remarks from Fire Services, and then we'll know a little bit more on what their concerns are.
Great, thank you. We'll now move to councillor comments beginning.
we missed an added item of new business,
6.2,
the information report.
speed signs.
Oh, yes, okay. While this report is being circulated, I'd like to draw the attention of council to the fact that our representative in the Department of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Jason Holland, has joined us for the meeting. Welcome, Jason. That's entirely the length of your remarks, I anticipate.
Oh, I love this. May I remark on this?
Not yet. CAO, would you like to speak or have someone speak?
I think I'd like to invite our Director of Public Works, who's been orchestrating the project of putting out the new speed monitors.
Thank you. So, I think we talked about this back in November and October, and just to know where we are with the signs, we did purchase 4 more signs, and they arrived last week. So we will be putting those into play. Request was for Bear River, and then we'll figure out another location. But this is the kind of data that you can pull off these machines. We can pull off daily data. You can show high lows for the day. But this is just kind of a summary report for the month to let you know. I've shared this with our police services representative so they can take it to their committee too. And we'll continue to do that. The more information we collect, we'll continue to share the information. Realizing every time I want to put the speed signs up, I have to talk to transportation and get permission to put signs up on the road. And, so it just doesn't happen tomorrow. I will put up more signs. I have to wait for a response back and different locations.
Thank you. Do we have any comments?
Thank you. I find this information so interesting. You know, I would, as a person that drives the Granville Road every day, I really notice that sign, and I think that it's done a good job because people do seem to be going a little bit slower. But obviously, by the count, not so much. So anyway, no, thank you very much. I find the information very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sheridan.
So, like, can I ask Jim a question? In regards to requesting the sign to be in your district or in your area, do we go through, send you an email, or how do you want us to do that?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay.
We can do a list up, and I can share that with council, or we'll go. Because now that we have info on Granville Ferry, do we continue to stay there, or do we move them someplace else? And same with the other signs. I think it's important that we move them around.
Absolutely.
So everybody has an opportunity and see what's going on in everybody's district and what's happening.
So, follow-up question, do you think the RCMP are going to do, is it going to be helpful for them, are they going to come out more and monitor where these signs are? Or?
We're just providing the information.
Yeah.
And they can do what they want. One thing, they might ask us for more details, and maybe the next report I get, I can give you an example of the day, what happens. And what we found in this report is mornings, most people are close to the speed limit. But come mid-afternoon, the speeds go up.
But it's heavier.
Then you get your peak speeds, which are kind of scary.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm reminded of what the RCMP person said during the meeting when we discussed this. He said very nicely and casually and matter-of-factly, what is it you would like me not to do so I can do this? And I think on an administrative plane, I think the email should come to the CAO.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes, just a quick question, if I may. The units that have been in place for some time, do those have the capability of producing this kind of data?
I'm not 100% sure. We'll go check it out because it took a little while to get our programming done and download the data. And as I pointed out, the one sign that we had on our trailer, I remember I reported back before Christmas that there was a fault with that sign. We were waiting for the TIR guy to come down. He said he'd come down and visit our shop and check the sign out to see if we can make a recommendation. So I'm not 100% sure, but I can report back next time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor LeBlanc.
Thank you. I would like to say thank you, Mr. Young. This report is very informative. And I would also like, not that I want to give you more work, but it would be interesting to find out a weekday compared to on the weekend. If there's a bigger variant or whatever. If it's possible without too much technical jargon. Thank you.
Councilor Bartel, please.
This is all great data. There's one part of the data that would be hard to pick out of that is the habitual ones that are daily doing it. And if county residents can point that out to us, maybe we can go back to the authorities to be there at a particular time to deal with that. And if the local and other people are driving through there, get wind of tickets being handed out, that might go a long ways to slowing things down. But there is one individual who mentioned that there was somebody that seen it's any more than that. Dr. Jim Williams, that there was that's something maybe we should target.
I'm not sure about turning our citizens into vigilantes.
I'm not turning them into it. It's with the information that you give.
I'm speaking, thank you. And thinking of the ensuing legalities that will take place, etc. I'm not sure how the RCMP would respond.
The point you speak about is more for places like Alberta and a lot of states in the U.S. that have photo radar approved at the provincial level. And I'm not sure if our machines would be able to do anything without that, but that's typically what you're talking about. So if there's somebody cruising along at 101 miles an hour and somebody gets a photo of the license plate and that's legit, it's automatic, the ticket goes out. We don't have to have any say in it per se. It would be a provincially run system. It wouldn't be us, and to tell you the truth, those work. Any place you've driven where they have that type of system, somebody from away or whatever that's not used to that, they're out there in the passing lane going 20 kilometers over the speed limit, meanwhile everybody else is smoking right there. So it does work. It's just, I know a lot of provincial jurisdictions struggle with it.
Thank you. Councillor LeBlanc and Councillor Collins.
And I have to say 100% what Mr. Young is saying is true, because I have known about this system for quite a few years now, and the way the province uses it, it goes to police, and then from there it goes to, actually, if it's some of these offenses, if Mr. Young can correct me, are not registered with insurance. It's a ticket write-off, a fine that they have to pay right in court. And you can correct me on that one, because I know that...
I don't think we have photo radar approved in our...
No, not here, no, but I'm saying...
Elsewhere, it just goes to the license plate, it goes to the address that the license plate is attached to, and it goes onto their record, so it becomes criminal, and the relationship between those records and your insurance, I think they're kind of tied together if you follow your insurance. So,
Anybody who can remember Expo 67, Quebec, for that year, the license plates said in big Expo 67, and the real license plate number was in small letters. And what happened in other provinces in the United States was all these tickets were being written to 1987 license plate Expo 67. Councillor Collins.
Being a recipient of the fines. Not on my part, but I had a vehicle registered in my name that my uncle lived in Alberta, and I got several of them. And the system used to be is that they could only put it to the registry of motor vehicle in the district they were in. So it didn't matter if I had 10 fines on my desk. I didn't really care much about it because it didn't affect my license here in Nova Scotia. But that has changed. Now when you get a fine across Canada, it goes against your license. And you think the next time you go in to register anything or to get a new license, you're denied until all fines are paid. My concern is that, similar to our warden's concerns, is that in the past, recently past, the RCMP, because they're so low numbered, have put some of our citizens in the line of retribution against them. And the RCMP tell people, you go with your phone and take a picture. That puts that individual in a situation where they could be harassed, they could have property damage done to them. There's a recourse sometimes if you kind of think you got authority and you don't. And I just would like to caution how much we would like to have our citizens become special agents. Because it's happened. And it's happened in the Utah area where a lady was told to go up and take pictures of four-wheelers. And her phone was taken from her and probably smashed. But should have never been asked by the RCMP to stick her in the limelight. So I'm very cautious about how we participate in. If we need the RCMP to do their job, the information is given to them, and they can figure out the best time of day to be there, because a lot of times it is a certain time of day. In my area on the 362, I had a gentleman say that every morning at 6:15, he knew this little Honda car was coming out of his house extremely fast. And he took it upon himself to stand in the middle of the road with a sledgehammer. And he did it to the transportation big snowplow. So he wasn't afraid. He didn't care if he went to jail. He didn't care. All he wanted was the situation to stop. That's what we get when we ask our citizens to step into place. So to be very cautious, I think the RCMP should be, if we can give them proper information, especially if we can figure out roughly if the same speeder comes through that sign every day at a certain time, then that kind of request goes to the RCMP, but still the RCMP do their job. That's what we're lacking.
Thank you. Deputy Warden.
Fourth column over is number of vehicles inside tolerated range. Curious what the tolerated range is.
I think it's all up front.
13 kilometers away.
Excuse me.
Literacy is American.
All right, thank you. We will now move to councillor comments, District 1.
Thank you. I hope everybody has enjoyed a safe and wonderful holiday season, and I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. My one comment beside that is that many of you are aware, I'm sure, that the MLA for Annapolis County, Carmen Kerr, is currently collecting signatures for a petition regarding making sure that the emergency department at Soldiers Memorial Hospital remains open. The petition may be signed at the MLA office in Middleton or at a number of businesses in our communities. And I would encourage everyone who can to consider signing that petition. So, thank you.
Thank you.
District 2, I hope everyone had a good and happy holidays. Our community hall in Fort George, we got a letter from the program for emergency generators, and we got accepted for a sum to help us with that. So we're very happy with that. I was kind of embarrassed when I was approached over the holidays from a councillor for the town of Middleton asking what is our county doing for the closure of our ER. information that is very important to our residents. I think that we should maybe ask our MLA, Colonel Kerr, to come to council and give us a briefing on what's happening. This is important, and in my mind, it's getting dangerously close to maybe not being able to do anything. If anyone knows, and anyone would tell us, I think you'll find that EHS is not delivering any more patients to ER Milton. They're taking patients from Milton to other areas, but there is no more. They either go to Digby or Kemple or Halifax. And some of the issues of having that is that if we lose our ER and our ability to send our constituents having the ability to go to a Milton hospital versus going to Kemple, and Kemple being full and being shipped to Halifax, we're going to be in trouble. We're in trouble now. Our ERs are closing more. Definitely anyone that can get out and sign the petition, hopefully it will mean something to upper management of our provincial government. But we need to stand the ground on this if we want to keep what we got. Because over the years we've seen the hospital in Annapolis Royal go down to phone-in registered service to go there. And that's where we're going to end up at Milton if we don't stand our ground, and hopefully our government will listen to us. So I think that we should be a part of, try to be a part of the solution. Our citizens have asked what we do about it, and like I said, we're kind of been kept in the dark. I feel a little embarrassed about that. So.
Thank you.
District 4. 2021 is gone, and I hope 2023 is productive, or more productive than the previous year. I attended a couple of New Year's Day levies, which were well attended. It was good food and good conversation around. Just a heads up, if we do start getting into winter, fortunate this year in one way of not having to clear a lot of snow, but people that use the snow for winter activities are kind of praying for it. Just a reminder that the county has a free loan program for equipment that you use. So you could contact the county to arrange pickup of items and assist you in your winter activities. I always encourage continued support of all the volunteers in the county. Volunteerism is a vital part of the activities and services through the regions. There are many volunteers that we owe a great deal of appreciation to. I also encourage all citizens, if they're even thinking about it, or maybe they're not, to join a volunteer group. It helps immensely. I'm glad to see the speed data in my district in Village of Granville Ferry. I think that's a step which will help maybe resolve some of the issues for this being a problem. Healthcare in the county is at a critical level. It's not just the Littleton survey, but everywhere. Annapolis was first, and we've lost that department. I'd like to see it come back. It's kind of hard with the situation we're in to reverse a few steps. But we're in a critical on, that we're not getting the care that we need, with the emergency centers and the ambulance services. If you have one or the other, maybe it's not bad, but we're losing contact with both. I think it's important for everybody to reach out and be heard on this matter. The more people are concerned that there may be someone in this, hopefully. In closing, I'll say Happy New Year's to all, and have a great 2023.
Thank you.
Greetings from District 5. I'm going to start with the healthcare. We're in a serious crisis. And so I encourage all citizens to step up and start pushing their emails, their letters, land on the doorstep of your MLA, and demand answers. We were not, as a collective group, included in the decision making, and I feel that that was a letdown. Nor were we informed of the changes that were before us. The models that have been suggested don't work for all, they work for a few. There are deaths happening on the doorsteps of our centers. These centers also have healthcare workers that work inside, even when there aren't emergency rooms available. And that gives a certain level of non-confidence to people when they're out there roaming around, driving around, thinking that they can stop at a facility where they could seek attention. So I caution everyone, be sure that you're checking where your centers are open. Everyone doesn't have internet, and they'll tell you to look online to temporary closures. Then you have to scroll down and poke on the right area to find out where you can seek attention. At the end of the day, 911 is your best effort for emergency. However, it is not a timely service, as we've been learning. When going into emergency rooms, go prepared. It can be a long wait and sometimes an unstable wait for many, as we've seen with the deaths that have of recent cast a shadow on healthcare in the media. Moving on to better ground, Happy New Year. 2023 is upon us, and I can only hope that healthcare shows up. I urge everyone to write letters to Carmen Kerr, to Tim Houston. Wherever you see a sign that says do it, don't hesitate. Our thoughts, our ideas do matter. As Councillor Barnett pointed out, the free loan program for winter activities. No snow yet, but I am feeling positive that we're not out of the woods yet for winter, the color of white. Port Royal, the Lighthouse Association has been as well writing many grants and looking at refitting the lighthouse. And they have just been successful in the provincial grant for a generator, which is amazing, and they're at best very shocked. This is wonderful news because that road is a very long road down to Victoria Beach, and in the event of requiring a comfort station, it will matter a lot to the citizens. Our roads and maintenance have been an enormous concern. As we all know, winter doesn't look like it used to. It's not a blanket of white, beautiful snow, soft flakes falling from the sky. It's black ice and unpredictable temperatures. So we need to travel like we should, which is for the condition. However, we can get caught off guard. We're in need of a better understanding as to what winter maintenance looks like. The wharf in Parker's Cove is underway with some serious refit, and so there are many large vehicles traveling in that area. So I urge anyone traveling over in that district along the shoreline to proceed with caution. For now, I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you. I might just point out that we have two MLAs, Carmen Kerr and Joe Walser, who is the MLA for Digby Annapolis, and who incidentally spoke with me last week, to arrange a time for her to come and have a chat with us. She was here last year and wants to come again, so we're working on that. I'm the counselor for District 6, and I'm also the warden, so I want to make it clear that the things I'm saying now are just about District 6, and of course the warden's report is presented at Committee of the Whole. I'd like to give my best wishes to those who have made 2023 resolutions and to those who will succeed in adhering to them for longer or shorter periods. Erica Phillips has recently become president of the Cornwallis Park Community Association and will be touching base with county staff on various matters of interest to the community. And Saturday, the 8th of February, is the date for the next Cornwallis Park Community Conference. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to echo the comments that have already been made regarding the health services. I guess in particular, the ambulance or Soldiers Memorial not accepting patients by ambulance. I think that's a very serious issue, and I think that in total, I guess all our health services are at a critical point, and I think some definite things have to be done to cover those type of things off. I guess other than that, I just wish everyone a happy 2023.
Thank you.
District 8.
Please.
Okay. Just waiting for non-vote. I know things. I didn't really write a report for you this month, and I know you'll miss all my long stories, but I'll get through it. I just jotted this one down. It's been quiet, and that's why I didn't. But I do want to wish everyone the very best in 2023. And I also encourage folks to think about gardening season, which is only a couple of months away. Now, that might sound like an eternity, but it's really not that far. You know, seeds will be wanting to be started next month and so on. So I want people to encourage people to think about gardening this year. As well, I would also encourage citizens to sign the petition being circulated around the county by Carmen Kerr. And more and more, we are receiving cuts in our service levels from the province. And it certainly makes me scratch my head sometimes thinking about what the municipalities pay the provincial governments. Every year they send us a bill, tell us how much more we're going to pay, how much more we're going to pay. And anyway, so it really makes me scratch my head what we got to pay, and why are we paying for services that we don't receive anymore? Thank you.
Thank you.
District 9. I want to echo the comments already made around the table regarding healthcare and how important it is to sign these petitions and reach out to your MLAs. I do have one dinner announcement to make finally. After almost 3 years, the Middleton District Lions Hall, Nicktoff, will be hosting a turkey dinner February 12th and at 5 o'clock. And there's only one sitting, but there is takeout available.
Thank you.
Lawrencetown Area Seniors Association meets the second Tuesday of every month. They are very welcome.
Thank you.
District 11. First of all, I'd like to wish all a safe and healthy 2023. There's no use me going over the healthcare system because it is definitely something we're all concerned about, and we have many questions and we need many answers, and we need to work together to get to them. The one thing I do have is at the Three Rivers Community Center, they are up and running and they have activities every day of the week on different For example, on Mondays, they have indoor walking from 11 to 12, chair yoga, kids karate, which is obviously after school, adult karate in the evening as well, and Zumba. That's only Monday. So Tuesday, they have the yen and restorative yoga. I know girls don't worry about writing on this. And Wednesday as well, they have yen and restorative yoga. And Thursday, they have the whole list of kids combo, kids karate, Zumba, kids dance, adult karate, karate weapons. I don't even know what that's about. And even on Saturday, they have a session of Zumba from 10 in the morning for 45 minutes. So there is always something to do if you look around, because they are finally opening up to the people and giving lessons of different sorts. And just venture out and try one out. And bring a friend with you, maybe, especially during the dreary days of January and February, if they're half-decent days, maybe you can hit one or two of these days during the week. So that's very important.
Thank you. And you have in your package the tracking charts. And I'd like now a motion to go into camera, please, under section 22.2, litigation. Councillor Sheridan, Deputy Warden, all in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. We are now back in session. The meeting is adjourned.